Good afternoon, everyone. So, as we all know that before lunch hours, we have completed the draw of lots for Urvisha car parking for the tower Ditya, Tritiya, Chaturthi and Panchami. And now we are going to start the draw of lots for the last tower, which is Prathama. And before we start, I would just like to give you a small brief on the nomenclature that are being used for your easy understanding. So as you can see here, we have total 400 units in Urvisha, and then there are total number of basement parking, which is 248. Total ground cover parking is 129, total open ground parking is 55, and total mechanical car parking is 92. Out of which unit nomenclature is URV 05070B. So when we say that, it is URV stands for Urvisha, 05 stands for the tower, 07 stands for the floor, and B is like the type of unit A, B, C, D, E. The next nomenclature we will talk about the parking nomenclature, which is, if it is a covered parking at the basement, then it will be denoted as CPB. For covered parking at ground, it will be denoted as CPG. Open parking on ground, it will be OPG, and mechanical car parking will be CMP. And the numbers would follow, which is 05 to 50, it can be anything. Thank you. And with this, I would like to request my colleague Kaushik to put all the tokens in the drum. Just to give you a brief, we have 5 boxes here. So the first is a unit number box in which we are going to put all the tokens of Prathama Tower into this. The second box is for the basement car parking. So we have the tokens of the basement car parking, and we will put it on the drum. The third is for the covered ground parking, and we will put the covered ground tokens. The fourth box is of the open ground parking, and we will put the tokens of open ground parking. And the last box, which is for the mechanical car parking. So we will start with the draw of lots for the Prathama Tower, and I would request my colleague Vanshi to pick up the tokens. So the first unit is 0102G. 0102G, and going forward I will only be saying 2G, 1F like that. So I will not be repeating the whole thing. Now here we have a one car parking which is under ground covered, and the parking number is 416, CPG 416. So I will only be reading out the numbers and not the nomenclature to it. The next unit number is 1E. The next unit number is 1E. And we have 2 parking with this. One is basement, which is the CPB 48. For basement, we have CPB 48. And for mechanical parking, we have CMP 459. CMP 459. The next unit is 1G, 01G. And we have one parking to it, which is mechanical parking. And the parking number is CMP 453. The next unit is 8E. The next unit is 8E, and we have two parking for this. First is ground covered. CPG 298, and the second is ground open 282, OPG 282. The next unit number is 1A, and we have two parking. First is basement, and the basement parking number is 56. And the second one is ground covered, and the parking number is 265. The next unit is 9I, and there is one parking, which two parking to it. Basement, which is 47. Basement is 47, and ground open. The parking number. Ground open parking number is 410. The next unit number is 2B. And we have one parking, which is basement. 52. CPB 52. The next unit number is 8B. The next unit number is 8B, and one parking, which is basement parking, 18. CPB 18. The next unit number is 3A. We have one ground covered parking. And the parking number 415. The next unit number is 5L, and two parking, ground covered, and the ground covered parking number 267, and the next is mechanical, and the mechanical parking number is CMP 478. The next unit number 6C. One parking at basement. 51. 10H is our next unit. One parking at basement. 103. 2L. Two parking, one at ground covered. 301 ground covered, and mechanical parking number is 469. Mechanical parking number 469. Next unit 3F. Next unit is 3F, and one parking at basement. Parking number 44. Next unit 1D. The next unit is 1D, and there are two parking. One is basement 28, and the next parking is ground open 295. OPG 295. 10G. Two parking. First is basement 54. Basement parking number 54, and then mechanical parking number 477. Mechanical parking CMP 477. 9F. 9F. One parking at ground covered. 288. 288. CPG 288. 10J. 10J. Unit number 10J. One parking at basement. 55. 55. 9L. 9L. Two parking, ground covered. Ground covered. 269. Ground covered parking number 269. And ground open. Ground open parking number 297. 297. 9K. 9K. One parking, ground covered. One parking, ground covered. 276. 276. 10A. 10A. Two parking, first is basement, 63. Basement parking number 63. And second is ground open, and the ground open parking number is 407. 407. The next parking number, unit number would be 10C. 10C. And parking number ground covered 261. 261 is the parking number. 9H. 9H. Two parking, first is basement. Basement parking number 20, 20. CPB 20. And then is mechanical. Mechanical parking number 454. CMP 454. Next unit 5E. Next unit 5E. Two parking, first is basement. Basement parking number 22. Basement parking number 22 and second one is mechanical 457. 457. Mechanical 457. Unit is 5K. Next unit is 5K. One parking at basement 104. 104. The next unit is 4E. 4E. Two parking, first is basement 43. Basement parking number 43. And second one is ground open, parking number 296. Ground open parking number 296. Next unit 11L. 11L. Two parking, first is ground covered 289, ground covered parking number 289, and open ground parking number 411. 411. Next unit 7D. 7D. One parking, ground covered 256. 256. Next unit 7L. 7L. Two parking, ground covered. Parking number 250. Ground covered parking number 250. And ground open parking number 306. Ground open parking number 306. 3C. 3C. One parking at basement. 14. 14. Next unit 4A. 4A. Two parking at basement. First is at basement 89. Basement parking number 89. And the second parking is mechanical 468. 468. Mechanical parking. Next unit, 10L. 10L. 2 parking. First is basement, 66. Basement parking number 66. And then mechanical. Mechanical parking number 467. 467. Next unit is 11K. 11K, 2 parking, ground covered and ground open. So ground covered parking number 260. 260 and ground open parking number 260 and ground open parking number 409. 409. Next unit, 9C. 9C. 1 basement parking, 42. 42. 3E. 3E. 1 parking, ground covered. 413. 413. 8A. 8A. 2 parking, 1 is basement. Basement parking number 10. CPB 10. And the next parking is ground covered. And ground covered parking number 264. 264. Next unit, 6E. Next unit, 6E. 2 parking, first is basement, 98, CPB 98, and ground open. Ground open 304. 304. Next unit, 5H. 5H. 2 parking, first is basement, 26. Basement parking number 26, and the second one is mechanical, and the mechanical parking number 482, CMP 482. Next unit, 7J. Next unit, 7J. 1 parking at basement. Parking number 16. Parking number 16. Next unit, 6L. 6L. 2 parking, first is basement, 46, basement parking number 46, and the second one is ground open, and the ground open parking number 275. 275. Next unit, 8I. Next unit, 8I. And 2 parking, first is ground covered, 277, 277 ground covered, and second one is mechanical, CMP 451. CMP 451. The next unit, 8K. 8K. 1 parking, ground covered. 251. CPG 251. Next unit, 11H. 11H. 2 parking, ground covered, 292, ground covered 292, and ground open 283. 283. 8F. 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 1 parking at basement. 45. 45. 6H. 6H. 1 parking, basement. 1. Parking number 1. 8L. 8L. 2 parking ground covered and mechanical. So ground covered parking number 258, 258 and mechanical parking number 485, 485. Two C, one parking at basement level. 07, one parking at basement level 07. 10E, 10E. Two parking, one at basement, parking number 08, basement level parking number 08, and ground open parking number 419, 419. 3D, 3D. One parking at basement, one parking at basement 05, one parking at basement. 7G, 7G. Two parking, ground covered and ground open. Ground covered parking number 262, ground covered parking number 262 and ground open parking number 400, OPG 400. Next tower 10K, next tower 10K. One parking at basement 96. One parking at basement 96. Next unit 4H. Next unit 4H. Two parking, one at basement, next at the open ground. Basement parking number 60. 60. And the next parking number open ground is 293. 293. 9A, 9A. Two parking, basement and ground covered. Basement parking number 95. Basement parking number 95 and ground covered parking number 249. 249. 7I, 7I. Two parking, one ground covered, 299, ground covered parking number 299, and the second one is mechanical, and the mechanical parking number 486, 486. 11J, 11J. Two parking, basement and mechanical. Basement parking number 97, basement parking number 97 and mechanical parking number 456, 456. 4L, 4L. One parking at basement and parking number 105, 105. Next parking 4I. Next unit is 4I and parking for 4I is at ground covered and the parking number is 281. 281. For 4I it's 281. 5J. Next unit 5J. Two parking for 5J, ground covered and mechanical. Ground covered parking number 255, 255. Mechanical parking 460, 460. Next unit 5G, 5G. One parking, ground covered. 253. One parking ground covered, 253. 10I, 10I. 2 parking, ground covered and mechanical. Ground covered parking number 268. 268 and mechanical parking number 481. 481. 2J. 2J. 1 parking at basement. 59. 59. 2I. 2I. 1 parking, mechanical. 479. 479. Next unit 7C. 7C. 1 parking basement. 64. 64. Next unit 10D. 10D. 2 parking, 1 is ground covered. 272. Ground covered parking 272 and ground open parking number 284. Ground open parking number 284. Next unit 2D. 2D. 1 parking, ground covered. 300. Ground covered parking number 300. 11I. 11I. 2 parking, basement and mechanical. Basement parking number 65. Basement parking number 65 and mechanical parking number 458. 458. 7B. 7B. 1 parking at basement. 62. 62. 4D. 4D. 2 parking, basement and ground open. Basement parking number 12. 1 to 12. And ground open. Ground open parking number 418. 418. 2F. 2F. 1 parking, ground open. Sorry, ground covered. 1 parking, ground covered. 280. 280. 9B. Next unit 9B. 1 parking, ground covered. 393. 393. 2E. 2E. 2 parking, 1 at basement and then mechanical. Basement parking number 24. Basement parking number 24 and mechanical parking number 462. 462. Mechanical parking number. 9E. 9E. 2 parking, ground covered and ground open. Ground covered parking number 309. 309 and ground open parking number 285. 285. 11G. 11G. 1 parking, ground covered. 311. 311. 3G. 3G. 1 parking, basement. 61, 61. 10B, 10B. Two parkings, basement and ground open. Basement parking number 92, 92. And ground open parking number 408, 408. 6A, 6A. Two parking, basement and ground open. Basement parking number 53, basement parking number 53, and ground open parking number 273, 273. Six K. One parking, ground covered. 257, 257. 1J, 0101J. Mechanical parking. 466, 466. 3J, 3J. Two parkings, ground covered and mechanical. Ground covered parking number 417 and mechanical parking number 472, 472. 6D, 6D. Two parkings, basement and ground covered. Basement parking number 57, 57, and ground covered parking number 252, 252. 7F, 7F. One parking at basement. 88, 88. 3K, 3K. One parking, basement. 02, 02. 4B, 4B. One parking, ground covered. 263, 263. 9D, 9D. One parking, basement. 15, 15. One parking, basement. 5I, 5I. 5I. Two parkings, basement and ground open. Basement parking number 11. Basement parking number 11 and ground open parking number is 286. 286. Ground open parking number. 2H. 2H. Two parking, basement and mechanical. Basement parking number 27. 27 and mechanical parking number 470. 470. 5A. 5A. One parking at basement. 6. Parking number 6. 4G. 4G. One parking, basement. 17. 17. 11A, 11A, one parking, ground covered. 278, 278. 11D, 11D, one parking, ground covered. 279, 279. 7E, 7E, two parkings, ground covered and mechanical. Ground covered parking number 414, 414, and mechanical parking number 465, mechanical parking number 465. 11B, 11B, one parking at basement. 21, 21. 1C, 1C, one parking, mechanical. 476, 476. 5D, 5D, two parkings, basement and ground covered. Basement parking number 94, basement parking number 94, and ground covered parking number 271, 271. 3L, 3L, two parkings, ground covered and mechanical. Ground covered parking number 307, 307, and mechanical parking number 455, 455. 11F, 11F, two parkings, basement and mechanical. Basement parking number 93, basement parking number 93, and mechanical parking number is 471, 471. 10F, 10F, two parkings, both are at basement. 23, parking number 23, and 91, 91. 6J, 6J, two parking, ground covered and mechanical. Ground covered 356, 356, and mechanical 484, 484. 6G, 6G, two parking, 6G is one parking at ground covered. 308, 308, one parking, ground covered. 6B, 6B, one parking, basement. 87, 87. 1B, 1B, two parkings, ground covered and mechanical. Ground covered parking number 270, 270, and mechanical parking number is 483, 483. 4K, 4K, One parking ground covered. 259. 259. 2A. 2A. Two parkings, basement and mechanical. Basement parking number 101. 101, basement parking number, and mechanical parking number 464. 464. 7H. 7H. We have three parking for this unit: basement, ground covered, and mechanical. So the basement parking number is 19. Basement parking number is 19. Ground covered parking number is 429. 429. And mechanical parking number is 480. 480. Seven A. 7A. One parking, basement. 102. 102. 3B. 3B. Two parking, basement and mechanical. Basement parking number 9. Basement parking number 9 and mechanical parking number 473. 473. 1H. 1H. One parking, ground open. 294. 294. Ground open. 8D. 8D. Two parkings, basement and ground covered. Basement parking number 99. Basement parking number 99 and ground covered parking number 346. 346. 2K. 2K. One parking at basement. 13. 13. 13. 11C. 11C. One parking, basement. 3. Parking number 303. 6I. 6I. Two parking, basement and ground floor, ground open. 100. Basement parking number 100 and ground open parking number 305. Ground open parking number 305. 1L. 1L. One parking at basement. One parking at basement. 49. 49. 5B. 5B. One parking, basement. 25. 25. 11E. 11E. Two parkings, ground covered and mechanical. Ground covered 254. Ground covered 254 and mechanical 452. 452. 4J. 4J. Two parkings, basement and mechanical. Basement parking number 90. Parking number 90 and mechanical parking number 475. 475. 8C. 8C. One parking ground covered. 312. Parking number 312. Ground covered. 6F. 6F. Two parkings, basement and ground open. Basement parking number 50. Basement parking number 50 and ground open parking number 274. 274. 8H. 8H. Two parkings, basement and mechanical. Basement parking number 4. Basement parking number is 4 and mechanical parking number is 474. 474. Mechanical parking number 474. The last 5. 1F. 1F. One parking, mechanical. 463. 463. 7K. 7K. One parking, ground covered. Parking number 266. Parking number 266. 3I. 3I. One parking, ground covered. 287. 287. 1I. 1I. One parking, mechanical. One parking, mechanical. 461. So the last unit is 3H. The last unit is 3H. Two parkings, one is basement, 58, basement parking number 58 and the other one is ground open. And the parking number is 420. 420. So with this, we come to an end of the draw of lots for Prathama Tower and also for Urvisha as a whole. And we will be intimating the details, that is the individual parking numbers to you over mail to your respective registered email ID with us. And this might within next 5 to 7 days, since we have few holidays in between, and would request you to kindly bear with us and thank you for being with us.